Welcome back from summer vacation. I don't know if you're feeling it, but I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, I'm seeing more of you in the office. We're getting more phone calls. We're seeing more contracts come in at RETSY. Feel like everybody's out of that summer slump and ready to get back to work. So this week at RETSY, I want to start off with announcing our next RETSY roundup. If you were at the last one, hopefully you got a lot out of it. This one, I can only tell you September 28th. So just kind of block that off for me. We'll get you the exact start and end time of it, but we have a killer speaker for you that we're gonna work around to make it work for the 28th. Excited for you to see that and everything else we're gonna share with you. I'm gonna share with you two of the most underutilized things within our office. Can't wait for you to see that. And we're gonna go over Forbes Global Properties. We're having more and more of our agents reach out and say, hey, I just got a lead from Forbes Global Properties. You know, if it's the home's on that site and it's your listing and somebody's calling in on it, it's usually a pretty serious buyer. Or if they're emailing in, they're a serious buyer. I'm gonna have Kirk share more about that. You all know RETSY's the exclusive market partner for Forbes in Arizona, and we're seeing more and more flow of traffic. You gotta remember, Forbes has got 77 international partners and growing. And as I monitor the traffic from Forbes, we're seeing more and more leads come in. So you guys all know Kirk. This week, Kirk got a lead from Forbes and we want to chat a little bit about that. Kirk, tell me about the lead. How did it come in?
So the lead came in direct via email, asking some questions on a listing that we had just made live. Got him the information that he was asking for, a few emails back and forth, connected directly with him via phone, talking to him, found out that he had originally seen the listing on Forbes' site, and that's how he came across it. And it's turned into, we're taking him out as a buyer. He's a $2.5 million buyer, and we're getting a listing of his too. I tell our agents all the time, answer the phone every time possible because you don't know who's on the other end. Yeah, it could be a spam call, but what if it is that 2 or 3 or 4 or $10 million buyer that saw a listing on Forbes or anywhere that we push our listings out to? You never know, and that does happen.
Speaking of which, tell them about 55th.
So on 55th, we just closed on one of our listings in Paradise Valley, just under a $7 million listing. And the seller is an avid reader of Forbes, and he sent me a text one day because he was scrolling the Forbes website and his listing popped up on the screen on the side as he was looking through, and he said, this is the coolest thing. So it showed him the value that we talked about and pitched, saying, hey, this is going to be shown to the most affluent people in the world. So he just thought it was pretty cool that he saw his own house on there.
Well, and what the RETSY agents need to know is that's essentially how we get Forbes Global Properties homes in front of the audience that can afford to buy a home in that price range. So thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Just a refresher for everyone who hasn't been to the back of RETSY lately. You have your congrats cards, your thank you cards, your envelopes for those, regular envelopes, letterheads, hand sanitizer, notepads, and the most underutilized thing we have in our office that you should be using in every one of your listing presentations, the RETSY Forbes Global Properties blind embossed leather booklets. This is how you would make a hardbound book for your presentation. So take your presentation, take your CMA or whatever else you want in there, jog the paper together, put it into the leather-bound booklet, jog that together, and put it in the bind-o-matic. Plugged in, it'll just turn on. You don't need to push a start button or anything. You're looking for this little red line to go all the way down to the end, and then it'll beep to tell you that it's done. Take it out. Just remember, this is gonna be hot for about a minute, and you're ready to go to your presentation. So this is the second most underutilized tool in our office, desks and office space. We wanna see you in the office, come in, feel free to work here. If you're like me and you have a kid home or need to get away from the noise and just need a dedicated workspace, come in and use one of the desks. This is the agent drop-down area. You can thank Matthew for this because he made it look this nice. Also, Darian asked me to ask you, if you have an open house you're gonna be sitting, let her know about it. We got a lot of traction on that open house post. We pushed it out to the area. So make sure to send your open houses to Darian.